So if you're putting money any place but social media, I think you're just burning. I look at compare that to the other company that I use for a youth promotion and an adult promotion. They were horrible. Right now, this really, I mean, we added 1,500 in the first month. Try these guys out for a month, and I think you're going to be very happy with the investment you put in, and you'll be doing it again.
All right, Chad. So appreciate you taking the time. For our audience, can you just introduce yourself and tell us about your experience in the gym and fitness industry?
Well, I'm Chad Coy. I've been in the industry since 1995 when I opened my first facility. I came on the Parisi team back in 2005 when I bought into the franchise. It was the 13th franchise, and I've been with Parisi ever since. I'm living here now in Columbia, Missouri, and the company is Parisi Speed School of Columbia, or Parisi Speed School of Como. We've done a lot of promotions, done a lot of stuff in the last close to 30 years in this industry, and just trying to find what brings leads through the door.
And so just for our audience too, Parisi mainly works with athletes for speed, conditioning, agility.
We're a youth performance company that focuses on children ages 4 to 18. At that same time, those kids can only come in a certain amount of time a day. So we actually do train adults and mature adults, which we call Silver Strong. So we're a smattering of about half kids, half adults.
Gotcha. And you mentioned some stuff just like in the past. And I know when we spoke before we onboarded you, you guys have tried a lot. Talk about like the past couple of years. What have you guys done before working with us? What have you done previously to attract leads, and how's that gone?
A lot of ours has been very organic. We started the business, but we opened in 2018, and just through word of mouth, we started getting people through the door. Do a good job with the kids. We did do some initial marketing, which just like kind of made us, people awareness. After that, it's not like we did a ton of marketing. We've done ads with the local university, which really had zero return on investment. And then we hired another company that does similar marketing to get people through the door. We had an adult promotion and a kid promotion. Basically the money we spent, the return on investment really wasn't there. I met you in 2019 at the Parisi Summit where I was presenting. I think you presented after me, I believe, in one of my presentations. And, so I've kind of known about you. And then, I heard through the network, through a couple other Parisi owners that you've done a great job for them. And then we were on a call. It was a program directory call. And Casey Lee had brought it up and brought your name up. And I said, well, give me his number. And I called you the same day.
Yeah. I remember that. You're ready to go. And, I feel like our onboarding process was pretty smooth. On the onboarding process, just to get you going, from conversation to ads going live, how do you feel like that communication process was? And just like, how was the process on your end?
It was just simple.
Mm-hmm.
I like simple. You know what? It's not this. I don't really think this is rocket science. You guys know how to do the ads.
Right.
You put someone in front of me, I think we can build a rapport and sell.
Right.
So I felt very confident. The more leads you throw through, we get through the door. I mean, the bottom line is this: leads are great, but they only count until they get through the door. We get through the door. I feel like we'll close. I mean, our closing ratio before this was 80%. So I felt really good about whatever you did. You get the leads to the door, we're going to close them. It's just about delivering a good product and great service and answering the questions and being able to help those kids become less likely to get hurt and just have better self-esteem and self-confidence.
Yeah, definitely. And I know, like, here's the thing too, with like, I always hear a lot of gym owners and just clients in general, they'll go through an experience where they are given like tons of leads through ads, but they're not quality, right? They're kind of just like tire kickers or people not interested. Sometimes you even hear stories of people not even like in the same state. Based off of what we've done and just in our first month, right? Because we've been doing stuff for you for like a little over a month now. How would you describe the quality of the leads that we brought you?
I mean, I can only compare it to the company I used before. I mean, if they gave me 100 leads, which then I got, 40 people through the door, which then like 5 people might sign up. With you guys, I tracked it pretty tight. We had 72 leads come through the door in that 3.5, 4 week period.
Now, when you say through the door, Chad, you mean like?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. We got the leads. So they responded to the ad. So they respond to ads. So they're interested. And then it's like, okay, now I've got to get your email. Now I've got to answer some more questions. get the email and then get them through the door. So 72 leads came, contacts. So I had 72 contacts, which then gave me 41 emails. Out of those 41 emails, we got 21 people through the door. Okay. Out of those 21, as of this morning, the reason I was late to our meeting this morning, I signed the last one. So literally we're at 100%. Now that's smattered between.
Back up for a sec. 100% meaning everyone who has come in through the door, you have closed.
Everyone that came through the door, we closed.
And how many people?
We had 20. We got 21 through the door. 21 through the door. Now there's 20 leads out there that I have emails for. So it's not like I'm not going to cultivate those leads. It's not like the other people. I mean, which again, there's another 31 leads sitting there that sent me a message via Facebook that just haven't responded. So, we'll continue to reach out to them via that mode. And then everyone else will go on our ongoing drip marketing, which is just a simple, hey, here's a newsletter for the gym. Here's some informational stuff. Here's our schedule. We'd love to get your kid in. So we just cycle them back in. So who knows how many more of those people will come in over the next 2 or 3 months? Because a lot of it's just like they see the ad, they respond to the ad. If they respond to my email, we get them through the door. If we get them through the door, I feel very confident we'll sell. I mean, like I said, 80% is our closing ratio before. We did 100%. Now I compare that to the other company that I use for a youth promotion and an adult promotion. They were horrible. The leads you guys brought us were the ones that we get were quality. Okay. So again, like I said, if I get 71 interest and I got 21 people to the door and we closed all of them, I'll spend whatever money I need to every damn month in order to do that. Because the life of those agreements, and some of those were privates, some of them were the group. So, I mean, I'm adding to our ACH. I mean, if I just look at what our ACH went up, I mean, the money I spent will be returned every month for the next 12 months, the exact amount of money. So, I mean, we added about $1,500 for ACH. So I look at that, so that's pretty awesome. Now, the rest of those people were private trained, so they paid a little bit higher dollar amount. And then what's the life of that agreement? If those people buy another package, great. If we filter them into our normal programming, which I think some of those will, how much money is that? I don't know. I mean, we're getting into like, can I say what I spent? Is that okay?
Yeah, no,
I spent $1,500, and that's going to equate into between $24,000 and $30,000 of the business over the year. I will trade that money every freaking month if that's going to drive our business. And what we've always had here, there's 120 plus places to train in Columbia. There's another half dozen places that train kids, so we've never really marketed hard. And I'm not saying this is hard marketing. But it's quality marketing. Yeah, we put money into the local university, so Mizzou athletics, and that didn't have a return. This has actually, the amount of money I've spent for what the return on the investment is, hell, it's like, I don't know, it's crazy, it's insane. It's like 20-fold.
So you're saying out of the $1,500 spent in just the first month of marketing, your lifetime value.
Just this year, not lifetime. I'm going to count the life of the agreement. I'm just saying for this year, it's going to be between 24 and 30, depending on how those privates pan out.
So at the lowest number that you've generated this year in expected revenue will be $24,000 off of $1,500 in ad spend.
Yeah. I mean, that's, to me, I mean, the old saying is like you should spend at least 10% of your gross on marketing. If we spent $33,000 this year and just look at what we just did, return on that investment, I mean, it's gonna blast us through the roof, which is what we need in order to attain the financial goals that we want, which really helps more kids. Now, at that same point, I mean, I'm right now trying to get more coaches certified, because as we're growing, it's like, you come and look at night, between 4 and 7 o'clock, there's 12 coaches doing something.
Yeah. Wow. It's amazing. Now, were you expecting those kind of results in a month? I know like you were a little skeptical in the beginning just because you haven't had great experiences, but were you expecting like a 24 to 30K return off of?
No, I really was. Honestly, I'd have been happy if we'd had $10,000 return on $1,500 investment.
I mean, that's still be
like when you look at it, just looking at my ACH, I mean, I just upped the ACH. Now my goal is to drive that ACH up to where it's like 15, $1,000 a month. So I know the 7th of every month, there's a check dropping in the account for 15,000. Right now, this really, I mean, we added 1,500 in the first month. I mean, what if we do the next 10 months? Can we sustain that? I have no idea. I mean, that's your department. You got to come up with creative stuff that gets people to the door. And right now, that the 2 ads we ran, I thought drove the questions, to ask the questions, to reach out, and then just continually chasing after those and getting people through the doors. That's my job. It's not your job. That's my job and my staff's job to get those people just in the building. Again, I'm not a huge fan of free anything, but the free evaluation really got people going. So we had to change our process a little bit, just a little bit slower. But I think just being patient, answering questions, getting kids through the door, and having them train a little bit more. So we gave 2, 3 free workouts. Not a big deal. When we close them, I don't care how many we got to do, because it doesn't change my payroll. So I thought it was just, from a financial standpoint, like,
worth it.
I think you'd have to be pretty freaking stupid to not look at the value of $1,500, and I brought in this amount of business.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned just like the audiences and just the market, right? So your market's competitive, and we really have only tested just a few sets of groups of audiences, right? We haven't even scaled the ads to the point where, right. So like it's and a lot of the time, your first week, 2 weeks, like you're in the learning phase inside like the ad platform. So ads really haven't even been like fully optimized to the point where they were like cranking out low cost per leads. But I feel like as momentum caught on and we optimized things to get better than they were, which sounds kind of crazy. But no, I mean, it was a great return. Really happy that you were able to see that in the first month. Won't keep you too much longer, but if let's just say a gym owner came up to you, right? Somebody who hasn't done marketing before, or they've done marketing in the past, haven't had a good experience with an agency or just with another company, and they've had crappy leads or just, not a good return on investment. What would you say to them if they said, hey, we're interested in working with Running Digital? But what would you, how would you?
I don't see there's any buts, because I've worked with companies. I mean, again, just recently, that was the company I worked with. I've worked with other marketing companies. I mean, I was Jeff Klinger from Minnesota Health and Fitness is the guy who that's where I learned from. That was the marketing guru back in the 90s. And that's the guy who started Anytime Fitness. Brilliant guy. I mean, he brought people to the door. That was kind of old guerrilla style marketing where it's all mail and all that stuff. I've tried everything. And this is just, we're in a digital age. I'm 54 years old. I don't get TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, but like I've got a great young staff that helps me with that, and we push stuff out. I think that does a great job, but that's where people live today. So if you're putting money any place but social media, I think you're just burn it, or have a party for your staff, or do something that's kind of cool for them or your members. But damn, I mean, I've done a lot of promotions, and this is it's just brought more people through the door. So if you're sitting on the fence, I'm like this. Test a month out, spend $1,500. What's the worst that can happen? I mean, we spent $26,000 on Mizzou ads with zero return. So that's $26,000 that was just didn't do shit. $1,500. I've already made that much money. I mean,
and you brought in 24.
Hey, let's go next month and next month and next month. And really the biggest thing is just each month trying to come up with something fresh, getting the new face to the door. And I think what's exciting for us is that we've got kids and adults. So I think we oscillate from kids to adults, getting and just fill all the pipelines. I think the hardest thing for me, honestly, is just staying on top of the leads. I mean, 71 leads. That's a lot of freaking leads to manage, and it's a lot of emails, and it's a lot of Facebook messages. But you know what? At the end of the day, I just look at what we did. Let's do this the next 10 months. I mean, we will blow this up, and the faster that grows, I mean, we're doing our mission, which is really to edify children and make them, live their dream of playing the sports at the level they want. I think that's what's cool, and we just get to do more of it. So the new kids coming into the fold, I'm looking forward. What are we gonna do in May? What are we gonna do in June? What are we gonna do in July? Those are generally, I can't wait. I want to redo this in like September going, you know what? We had our freaking best. We combined the last 3 summers and did it all in once because I think we can just getting the quality of lead through the door. So I'm just excited to see what you got cooked up next. And, this is probably the easiest money I've ever spent.
Out of all the investments you made in business, where would you rank this on profitability?
Well, I mean, we've only done 1 month, but it's pretty, top 3 in 30 years in the industry. I mean, I'd like to say like buying the Parisi franchise in 2005 was probably my number 1 because it really changed my life.
Marketing specific.
Just marketing specific. This is the best money I've ever spent. I mean, I've done a couple of really cool promotions I thought was cool.
Yeah.
I gave everyone at Christmas, I gave them a free month. So for Christmas, my members all got 2 for 1 month free passes to give to their friends. So what that did is got buried, like January, we're buried with adult, and that was an adult promotion. We got tons of adults through the door. Every one of our members got 2. So like if we had 80 people give away 160, it cost me $250. That's probably the greatest promotion because, it cost me $250 and I brought in like $40,000 in the business over a year. That's pretty cool. And it helped choke out my competitor at the same time. Now this, I would say just ongoing, that's something you can do once a year. I love what we're doing with you guys because it can be run every month. And I think you have to run marketing every month because the marketing that happens, those leads that come through today might not be from this promotion. They might have seen something in the past, but this is the promotion that goes, oh yeah, those guys at Parisi, I need to get over there. I need to take my kid over there.
That positive reinforcement, right? People don't act on those decisions like initially. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a nurture process.
Right. And that's where we just keep them in our pipeline, keep marketing to them. So you're bringing in new leads and I'm still working every old lead. It's not like we give up on those. We keep those leads.
And I guarantee you a handful of those leads will come back around come, middle of May, end of May.
Well, they're going to see the next ad and go, oh shit, yeah, I should have got my kid in.
Yeah. We'll create a couple sequences where people who have messaged in the past and have them come in, right? 1-2 weeks later, then they see an additional separate campaign. That's all stuff we build out in the back end, but we can get into weeds on that on another call. Anyway, Chad, is there anything else you just wanted to say to the potential gym owner or just any closing statements?
Great. All I got to say is it's a great experience. It's been really easy to work with you. The response has been quick. It's not like you took my money and then didn't talk to me. We literally, the first couple of weeks, like, dude, I think we were texting or emailing like 2 or 3 times a day. It was just like, holy smokes, you're holding my feet to the fire. And it was great. I wholeheartedly, if you're on the fence, just here's the deal. I would say this, spend the money. Think of all the dumb shit you spend money on. Some of all the dumb shit that I spent money on. I've gotten $100 haircuts. I've had $100 shots of whiskey. I've wasted a lot of money just experiencing life. Spend $1,500, try these guys out for a month, and I think you're going to be very happy with the investment you put in, and you'll be doing it again.
Damn.